In continuation, based on what we saw on these two examples, we can see that any system has a block diagram that has different blocks representing it as subsystem or subparts of the whole system. We have already somehow known the the idea of block diagrams, how to represent them, but we want to now understand the rules in block diagram and try to simplify them. The first step or rule is combining cascade forms. Cascade form means they are series like this. We have G1 here and G2 here. This is the cascade form. So if I have X1 here, if I look at this guy, if I have X1 here, X2 is equal to G1 S multiplied by X1. Okay, so X1 gets into the block diagram of G1 and it multiplies it and gives us the X2 signal. So X3 will be X2 multiplied by G2S. So I can say that X3 is G1S X1 multiplied by G2S. And this means that this is equal to X1 multiplied by G1S G2S. What this relationship shows me, it shows that if you have cascade G1 and G2, to simplify them, you can have just multiplication of G1, G2 together. Clear? So this guy here simplifies to this guy here. Two block diagrams simplifies to one block diagram. If they are cascade, they just multiply to each other. If we go to another example, let's see what is this, what are the signals here. This signal here is X1 plus minus X2, so X3 is equal to G multiplied by X1 plus minus X2. Now, if I want to bring this guy from the behind to this part, what happens? It's like this. This will be X1G. So in order to X3 be the same as this one, we have X1G, and we should have this guy as X2 plus minus X2G. It's like this X2, let's explain it like this. This X2 will see G and be multiplied to G and gives us GX2. Okay. Now, if I bring this summation, move this summation from one point to another, I have to say that, okay, this X2 was seeing G, so I have to add G here so that the results of these two guys be equivalent to each other. Clear? So from here, okay, X3 is X1 plus minus X2 multiplied by G. From here also, X3 is X1G plus minus X2G, which is equal to X1 plus minus X2G. These two are equivalent to each other. Now, if I have this point, pickup point, and I am getting X2, and I want to move it to here, I should say that, okay, this x2 was seeing G. This guy here is x1. In order to change it to x2, I have to put G here. Clear? So in this diagram, if I have x1 multiplied by G gives me x2. In this diagram also, this x2 is x1 multiplied by G. This x2 should be also x1 multiplied by G. So when I'm moving this pickup point to the back of, or to the ahead of a block, I have to add the block so that the result doesn't change. These are very clear things. Or if I want to do vice versa, that is getting this pickup point and bringing it to here. So this guy was not seeing G. So now it is seeing G. So I have to divide it by 1 over G to get the same result as x1. So these are some specific operations so that we can simplify bigger block diagrams. Or in this case, if I have a summation point and I want to move it to the ahead of a block, okay, this x2 going into the summation was not seeing G. If I bring it ahead, it will see G. So I have to divide it by 1 over G so that nothing changed in the x3 result. And we have this feedback case, how we can simplify feedback case. We call this signal here SA actuating signal. What is SA if you can see? SA is x1 plus minus x2h, because this guy here is x2h, if this is x2, okay? And I can say that also this guy x2 is equal to SA multiplied by G. So x2 is also SA multiplied by G, which is equal to G multiplied by SA, x1 plus minus x2h. So this will show that x2 minus plus gh x2 is equal to gx1. So the transfer function of this system is output x2 divided by x1. The output x2 divided by x1 means it is g over 1 minus plus gh. So in feedback loop, I have to also define some important things. The thing is, G here is called feed forward transfer function. Okay, H is feedback transfer function. GH multiplication is called open loop transfer function. It's like you open this loop. If you open this loop, you will have GH, something like this, if you open the loop, okay? And this is cascade. GH is the multiplication, is the transfer function. And this TS is called closed loop transfer function. So from a feedback loop, if we ask for feed forward transfer function, it's all the transfer functions on here is feed forward from x1 to directly x2, from S to directly x2, let's say. This guy, this part is feedback. The open loop is this loop here, GH is the open loop transfer function. And the closed loop transfer function is G over 1 minus plus GH. If you have plus here, you will get minus here. If you have minus here, you will get plus here. And how it's obtained, we showed. It's SA is like x1 plus minus x2h, and x2 itself is from here SG. So you put S from here to this guy, and you just find the relationship between x2 and x1. Clear? Okay. Now let me give an example to simplify this system. It says that what is the transfer function of the system? We want to find transfer function of the system, which is output ys over rs. We can see that how we can do, okay? First of all, I have to look at this block diagram and see that from the things I have learned, for example, cascade, I don't know, parallel, I don't know, the feedback. For example, here, it is a feedback. No. While this guy is here, it's not feedback. Is this a feedback? No. While this guy is here, it is not a simple feedback. So I have to do some simplification. For example, if I get this from here and bring it here, is that possible? So first step, I cut this here, and I say I start this, I do this signal here was not saying G4, okay? But now when I bring it here, it is seeing G4. So I have to divide this guy by G4. This is the first step, okay? Clear? So step 1 is blue. Step 2. Step 2, now I have this kind of, this part as a feedback. What is this? If I call this here as T1, T1 would be feed forward G3, G4 divided by 1. Here is plus, so it should be minus G3, G4, H1. So it's like what I did is I deleted these guys and I put something here as T1. Next step is that T1 and G2 are cascade, become cascade, okay? And they have this feedback here. This is T2. So T2 would be G2 T1 over 1 plus G2 T1 H2. So what I have done is like this. Let me show the steps here. So this guy is like this, okay? Then this feedback here. Has become T1. So then this guy, this part here, is again a feedback. G2 T1, this here, divided by 1 plus, because this is minus, 1 plus G2 T1 H2. Now, I have T2 here. Now I have this feedback, whole feedback like this, T all. I have it like G1 T2, because here is T2 now, over 1 plus G1 T2 H3. This is like, now I have this system, RS TR YS. Clear? Any question?
Hocam baştan alma imkanınız var mı acaba?
This problem whole?
Evet.
Okay. Let me add a
Teşekkür
page
ederim.
here. Okay. Let's say that I have this guy here. Let me do this one. Let me say that. Let me delete these guys. So I have the original plot. Okay. I want to simplify this block diagram. Okay. Now, what should I do? I have to use some things like if I have cascade G1, G2, I can simplify this one. Or if I have this G and I have this feedback H, I can simplify this one. So I have to look at these things. Do I have any cascade? For example, these two, what happened? Do you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Something came as error, but I don't know what was that. Okay. I have to look and see, do I have something like that? For example, this guy and this guy can be cascade, but this is a problem here. Or this guy and this guy can be cascade, but this is a problem here. This guy and this guy can be cascade, but this is a problem here. This guy can be feedback, but this guy is problem here. So in order to do that, what I do is I delete this line, okay? I delete this line from here and I bring it here. And I say that because this guy was not seeing G4, it is not seeing G4, so I have to divide it by G4, okay? I have to divide it by G4. Now, I have this guy as feedback. These two are cascade, they become one here, G4, G3, G4, and they fit back with H1. So I name this T1. So I have T1 as equal to G3, G4 divided by 1 minus, because this is plus, G3, G4, H1. So what I did here is like this. T1 goes like that, okay? Now, these two guys are cascade. They can multiply together and they become feedback with this guy, which we name as T2. So T2 would be G2 T1 divided by 1 plus G2 T1 H2 over G4. Okay, this becomes a feedback. So it is like that. It's like, let me also simplify this one. It's like, oh, this guy is T2 here. Now this T all can be found. T all would be G1 multiplied T2. These are cascade. They multiply each other. They become G2 T2, G1 T2, sorry, over 1. This is negative, so positive. G1 T2 H3. I hope I made it clear now what we did.
Evet hocam, teşekkür ederim.
You're welcome.